Kate Mercado with Yampa Valley Sustainability Council and the Routt County Organics Recycling Task Force. Today I'm here to tell you about why you should compost. Since 1974, food waste has increased by 50% in the U.S., which results in approximately 133 billion pounds of food thrown out every year. This amounts to 30 to 40% of our food supply, making it the largest contributor to waste placed in municipal landfills. Composting is one of the easiest and most beneficial solutions to deal with organic waste like food waste, wood waste, and paper. However, you may find yourself asking questions like, what is compost and why is throwing out my food waste so bad? The Routt County Organics Recycling Task Force is here to answer those questions, plus much more.
So what exactly happens to our food when it's thrown out? Let's take an apple, for example. Perhaps we bought a few too many apples the last time we were at the store, and maybe one of them ended up going bad. You know, when that apple's thrown out, not only are we wasting the money that we used to purchase the apple, but we're also wasting the water, the land, and all the other natural resources that were used to grow it, and the emissions that were produced during its growth, its harvesting, its processing, and the transporting of it to the store. The problem doesn't end once our food waste makes its way to the landfill. In landfills, food waste emits methane, which is a greenhouse gas with a warming potential that's 84 times more powerful than carbon dioxide on a 20-year time scale. And food waste is actually responsible for 25% of the methane that's emitted in the U.S. annually. The pollution produced by wasted food is equivalent to the pollution that's produced by 37 million cars. Food waste also takes up a significant amount of space in landfills, which causes the need to create more landfills. Not to mention, when we place this material in the landfills, we're also missing out on the opportunity to recycle it in useful and environmentally beneficial compost.
Thanks, Gail. Now let's go to Jim and Sophie to talk about food waste reduction.
Our first step toward mitigating these problems must be preventing the creation of food waste in the first place. Consumers account for more than half of all wasted food, beating out grocery stores, restaurants, and all other sectors of the supply chain. While this may be startling, it actually means that our own personal actions can have a huge impact on lessening the amount of food wasted each year. Here are a few tips on how food waste can be prevented in the home.
Make a list before heading to the grocery store and check your fridge and pantry for items that you might already have. By planning out meals for the week, this can help prevent overbuying.
When bringing fruits and veggies home, research best practices for storage. The shelf life of many different kinds of produce can be prolonged simply by changing the way that they are stored.
Utilize your freezer. Freezing is a great way to store many different foods until you are ready to eat them, especially meat, one of the most energy and water-intense foods to produce.
If you have more food at home than you will be able to use before it goes bad, consider donating it to your local food bank.
Thanks, Jim and Sophie. The reality is that none of us are perfect food waste preventers. Sometimes we buy too much, leftovers get buried in the back of the fridge for weeks, or we have scraps left over from cooking. So what do we do then? Well, composting might be the answer to our problems.
Composting is the aerobic decomposition of organic materials by microorganisms. It transforms raw materials such as leaves, grass clippings, garden trimmings, food scraps, animal manure, and agricultural residues into compost, a valuable, earthy-smelling soil conditioner, teeming with life. Through composting, the benefits begin with the emissions saved. The average U.S. household wastes approximately 620 pounds of food each year. If the average household were to compost all of their food waste, this would result in 573 pounds of CO2 avoided per year. While composting helps avoid producing emissions, it is also an important carbon sequestration strategy when it is applied to land. Carbon sequestration refers to the process by which carbon dioxide is removed from the atmosphere, either naturally or artificially, and will be essential for reducing the effects of climate change. One study has found that if half an inch of compost were applied to half of California's rangeland, the annual emissions from California's commercial and residential sectors could be entirely offset. Economically, compost facilities create 9 jobs to every 1 job created by landfilling, and by creating an end product that is sold locally, we can keep money in the local economy longer. When our food waste is transformed into compost, it can be applied to garden beds, landscaping, and farmland. The application of compost helps build valuable topsoil, which is being lost at alarming rates each year due to intensive agricultural practices, overgrazing, and erosion. Compost also retains more water, increases soil fertility, and returns important nutrients to the soil, reduces the need for harmful fertilizers, and filters out pollutants.
Thanks so much to all of our task force group members for all of that wonderful information. If you're interested in reducing your own food waste and contributing to the benefits of compost creation, then you may want to start composting on your own at home or by bringing your food waste to a local composting facility, like Innovative Regeneration Colorado. Check our website for more information, where we will be posting videos about how to start composting at home or how you can sign up for Innovative Regeneration Colorado's composting program.